She's actually doing it.
Oh, I have to turn this inside. Music
yes. Oh, that's right. I remember.
I did. I turned it
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Hi, we're here. Yay.
Second day of fall.
Of fall.
Yes. Excellent.
Well, do you use the word fall or autumn? Or both?
I think
I say fall.
I say fall more, but
Yeah.
I have on occasion been known to say autumn.
Oh,
Yes, I have.
what are those occasions?
Well, autumn sounds more poetic. Probably when you're
does.
writing poetry, you use autumn.
Now, what
Autumn leaves.
do you prefer? Now, what's your favorite season? What would you say? Is it autumn?
All right, well,
I
this
said
one's-
autumn. There you go.
this-
This is one of those occasions.
This one's going to hate what I'm going to say.
You're going to say winter.
I love winter.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
I do.
I don't love winter. I only like winter until Christmas and New Year's, and after that I don't like it anymore.
You're done with it.
I'm done with it. January
Yeah.
and February need to be spring.
Did either of you turn your heat on yet?
No.
No.
No. I still have my air conditioning in the
Me
No,
too.
well, I have, but this morning when I woke up and I saw the thermometer, I went, should I turn the heat on? I went, no, I don't want to get it
Well,
too
tonight is supposed to go down to 49, and my kids are I'm driving them crazy because I go, oh, my poor chickens. Everything with the weather, if it's too hot, or my poor chickens. They're convinced I love them more than them. And
What happens with the chickens? They're okay in the cold?
oh, well, yeah. My chickens are quite spoiled. They have this really big, expensive Amish-built coop, which is nice and insulated.
Oh,
And
they
then
are spoiled.
when it gets really cold,
Like
I take those, those microwavable discs. I have
Oh,
those
yeah,
kind of- and I microwave them up, and they last for 10 hours, and they put them in their nesting boxes.
Oh, I don't know what they are.
They're good. They're good for kittens or puppies, and
that's
to
awesome.
simulate like the heat of a mom. So I do a lot of rescue work, and we use them for kittens.
Okay.
But I also use them for my chickens.
Oh, okay.
All right,
No,
all right.
I don't blame you.
I don't know if our people that are watching, all of you, but I would love it if you would take a picture of that and send it, and we could share it on our,
Of what, the disc or the chickens?
the chicken coop, the whole setup.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Would that
Do
be
you buy them little winter hats?
No, but I did make a bath for them because I do bathe them when it's too hot in the summer. I cool them down.
I'm
She
sure
loves-
that they appreciate
she
it. I
loves-
don't blame you. I always
love
make
these
sure I
chickens.
have bird seed in my, and I put suet out, and I have a bird bath. I always make sure there's fresh water for the birds, and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to like Mary Calvy's book, though. I just started. It's going to come out in February. And it's a lot about Theodore Roosevelt and his knowing birds and the bird calls. And it's a
Yeah.
work of fiction, but it's based on his life. And so when I was reading it, I thought of you. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, Peggy's going to like
He
this
has
book.
a whole pet cemetery on the grounds of his property
Yeah.
here
Yes.
in Long
on
Island.
Sagamore
Yeah.
Hill he does. He has
Absolutely.
all
That was
pets.
like my favorite park to go
Yeah.
to on the field
It's a
trip.
very small
I know,
area.
it's nice.
I thought it was going to be like,
Yeah.
like a fenced-in thing, but it's, but
Whatever.
anyway, whatever.
Well, this week, Peggy and I did our first off-site after the pandemic, since the pandemic.
They told me I couldn't go.
Oh, that is so not true. We asked her, we invited her to come. And it was at the Lambs in the city, and it's America's first professional theater club. And it was established in the city in 1874. And it's
That's
not a public restaurant, because that's the manager there made it very clear that, that's
Was it a
not that.
gentleman's club?
The restaurant is called the Lambs Club, and he said they ripped off our names, so
Yeah.
they're just called the Lambs.
Right. So we went there to sell Allison Gilbert's pre-pub book. It's out now, but it was a pre-publication. Is it out now, or is it this
No,
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
It's-
That's
yes.
I couldn't report it to the New York Times yet because you can't do
That's
before
right.
the release date.
Well, it's a biography, and she did it with an co-author, Julia Shears, and it's called Listen World, How the Intrepid Elsie Robinson Became America's Most Read Woman. And it really is fascinating, because this woman from the 1920s on did not comics, but drew, was it comics?
She illustrated, she wrote and illustrated a column in the newspaper.
Right, and then she did all of it, wrote and illustrated, and she was the most read. So it's, as Allison says, she's the most famous woman you've never heard of, because she's just that interesting. So Peggy and I traipsed into the city on the Long Island Railroad, grabbed a quick bite to eat. She didn't love what she had, and and then we went across the street to the Lambs to sell her books. So that's what we did this week. So you may want to discuss this, because you did some research on it.
Oh, okay. I gave you the card. Did you take it?
Oh no.
I left it on the table. Well, anyway,
we
just
all over the place.
we just wanted to remind everyone, if you're not registered to vote, to register to vote. You have until October 14th. If you're mailing your application in, it has to be postmarked by the 14th and received by the Board of Elections by October 19th. Or you could just do it online before the 14th. Or you could go to DMV and do it too.
And check in with your nieces, your nephews who are turning 18. Make sure that they're registered to vote. It's not on their radar. We were all at 18, and a lot of us don't know that. Check. This is an important election, as all elections are. But I mean, there's a lot that's going to be on the table. This
exactly,
and we need
women's rights is on the table.
Yeah.
We've been reduced to second-class citizens. So.
Yeah, and we've had such a hard time to even getting first class citizens, so we don't want to be relegated back to second class, third class, whatever. And there's so many things.
And for all, like, this is not just the federal election, but the state elections. I mean, I don't know if any of you saw some of these local state elections.
Yeah.
There's some people that are just believe that the women's suffrage movement was probably the worst thing that ever happened, and that all of our country's problems.
Why does that not surprise me?
Started because women were given the right to vote. I mean, this is what people are talking about now in 2022. I mean, so. Yeah. We need people to vote. If you have a daughter, if you have a granddaughter, if you know somebody who's got a granddaughter, even if you think you're too old or you only have sons and nothing like this will affect you, they're going to get married, they're going to have children. We need to protect the women's right to vote.
Or they may not want to get married. They want to have a child without getting married.
Or they may want to marry another boy. That's okay too. But exactly. that's on the ticket too. So we really need somebody. We really need people to get out there and vote and check in, like you said, with people to make sure that they are registered to vote.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to say that inflation isn't a big, ticket item this year. But you know what? Inflation, we've been going through it for years.
Right.
It happens. We go through cycles with it. We always end up correcting it, and everybody survives.
Right.
So think about getting your right to vote taken away, or then making it harder for us to vote.
Right.
And about a woman's right to have control over her own body. Mm-hmm. To me, they're the two most important things.
Because in that latter one, some people may not survive. Like inflation, we'll get through it.
Right.
Right.
So
exactly.
Please vote.
Yes.
Good reminder.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Yes. I think absolutely. Yeah. And we are taping this on the 24th, right? It's September 24th, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. And this is the very last day of Banned Book Week. But that doesn't mean that, we can just forget about it.
No.
Because, it's very important to have the rights to speak of rights and voting. It's very important not to have that taken away. I have a question for you, too. Do you know what has been the most banned book of all time, if my research has been correct?
The Bible?
No.
Too bad.
No, we don't want to even ban that.
Catcher in the Rye?
No.
Okay, let me think. The most banned book of all time.
Do you folks know?
To Kill a Mockingbird?
I was going to say that one next. Okay.
Do you want me to say who the author is?
Yes.
And the minute I do, you're going to know.
I might not know.
George Orwell.
Oh, 1984. Wow.
1984 was the most banned book. And I actually remember watching the movie in high school based on 1984. And it's so weird, like how the gentleman had the TV and he knew that somebody was watching him from his TV, from his screen, and how he was, and you're like, this is so bizarre. Yeah. This is so weird. And when I watched it, it wasn't even 1984 yet. This was when I was in high school. We won't say what year that was, but it was in the 70s. But yeah, it's crazy to think of where we are now with all
Yeah.
of that.
It's crazy to think that people are still talking about banning books. These
Yeah.
are ideas. These are, kids are now glued to their phones anyway, so it's
Yeah.
hard enough
You
to
know-
get books in the hands of kids.
It doesn't even matter, if you don't want that's a parental control thing.
Exactly.
Do not have school boards stepping in and pulling books out of libraries.
Yeah.
I actually had a really good idea that I was
Oh,
thinking
boy.
about the other day.
I want to hear
That
this.
all of
Lay it on
these
us.
libraries, and most of the times the librarians do not want to ban the books.
Right,
They don't want to pull
right.
the books. Or your local library, if you have a local independent bookstore, or even like a Barnes and Noble, the bookstore can volunteer to dedicate a couple of shelves in their store for the library to pull those books that they're being forced to ban and shelve them in the bookstore and let people come in and borrow them.
Oh.
That's
I
a
mean, it
great
would be a
idea.
lot, it would be some
That's a lot
of
work for it, but
coordination.
I would do it if we still
it's-
owned
I
our
know.
bookstore.
Yeah, that's a great
I
idea.
would definitely do it. Give them a small section
Go for it.
and then
Absolutely.
and
a
send
great
their
idea.
their patrons into the bookstore.
You
So.
can even come to my house. I'll put the books in my house.
Yeah.
Just to help. Yeah, well, there's a long list, but of banned books. But if you get a chance, look it up online, like what books have been banned. You might be surprised. You might be surprised with
Yeah.
some of the books that were banned. It's like crazy.
And they're always
for the
talking
reason.
about adding more books to be banned.
Yes.
But let's include more guns in this
Yeah,
library
yeah.
because books kill, but
Right.
guns don't. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Really.
I know.
Hey, I got a paper cut.
We should
once.
go down this road. But I had to say.
We could have done a whole podcast on this subject.
Yeah.
I was in Theodore's the other day, Theodore's bookshop, and
Oyster Bay.
they did a beautiful, Chloe did it, she did a beautiful table with banned books, and she had caution tape on it,
Oh, how
and
cute.
great signage, and it really looked good.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's good to make people aware because, you know, you probably think it doesn't affect you until it's a book that you want to read.
Yeah,
Because like Peggy had did mention, the Bible has been banned
yeah.
as well. So keep that in your bonnet. That's
That's
what I'm
right.
saying. Put that in your bonnet.
You
A
forgot
bee
to
in
wear-
your
you
bonnet.
forgot to wear your bonnet.
Well, be the book.
Oh, okay. A book in your bonnet.
What I think we need to do is move on to the wine.
Do we need wine after this?
Yeah, we definitely need
Sure, let's
wine.
add wine to this conversation.
Absolutely. Well, it's my turn today.
Okay.
And the reason I picked Avaline,
I like the name.
it actually, my younger daughter sent me a text and said, Corey, my older daughter, would like this for her birthday. She wanted to give it a try.
Happy
It's
birthday.
Cameron Diaz's and Catherine Power, Catherine who's a fashion designer, so Cameron Diaz and Catherine Power had wanted to start a vineyard, have wine that doesn't have sugar, that's organic. So I know that you'd
Oh.
like this. So let me put my glasses on to read something, and it's produced in France,
You almost put that right on the edge,
but I didn't.
but you almost did.
But I didn't. On the edge of town. Okay, so it's made with organic grapes. It's vegan friendly. The taste is light to medium body with hints of cherry and the perfect touch of spice. It's free from added sugar, artificial colors, and concentrates.
And what kind of wine is this?
This is just a red blend.
Oh,
They do
right.
have a Cabernet
Getting
and
ready.
they have, I think, a Rosé. And they're
What is the blend?
it is, I wrote that down. What did I write? Okay. It's got Grenache with black cherry aromas, tart raspberry jam on the
Like
palate,
tarts.
and a hint of cinnamon on the finish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it pairs well with candlelight and a starry night.
Oh,
Where is our
romantic. She had to blow out the candles. They've been irritating my sinuses.
And mine as well. So, and you notice it's a screw top, and I,
I
know
love
that
screw tops.
I
I'm
know that-
sorry, I love
We used
them.
to not like screw tops.
I know.
I used to be offended by them, but with all the cork, it's bad for the environment.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure that's what they took into consideration. So Cameron Diaz and Catherine Power, thank you, and we'll see if we like it.
Let's see if you like it.
So
Have you had this before?
I have not.
Oh, and how much does it cost?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's I went to I had to look up. Total Wine does carry it for $19,
Oh, okay.
but I went to a liquor store in Wantagh, which isn't that far from me, but it was 21 something, but it can be from 20 something to $24.
Bring it, Eric.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
up
we're
there.
going upscale, huh?
We have to change the
Well-
name of this podcast to the Hoity Toities.
So I don't know if my daughter's gonna like it for her birthday, because I don't know if she sees this podcast. She's not gonna watch the podcast. But this is what she wanted, so I thought, you know what? I think I'll try it with the Wildflowers. So
Alright.
so let's to autumn or fall
To
or
fall.
to friendship.
And all the books.
And yes, to all the books.
That's right. Read what you want.
Oh, it smells nice.
Alright.
What's good? It's
What's
a little bit too light.
well, yeah, I like.
But my
some-
first sip, I never liked. The first sip of any wine.
I'm the same way. I'll open up a bottle of wine and I'll be like,
It's
oh.
very smooth. I like that.
Yes. What do you think, Judy?
It really does smell good.
It smells very nice.
I don't think it has enough winey taste.
It's a very thin.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen. But no.
It's okay. Maybe
No.
it is tart though,
Second
and I
sip-
like the tart.
second
I can
sip
taste
is
the tart,
better.
yeah.
Third sip is even better.
I like it. I like it.
I like it. I just don't know if it's $21 worth of liking.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my-
not as
that's
good
my
as
thing.
Quintas de Cavalas.
That wine was lovely.
I bought another bottle.
Oh,
I did.
for us.
I could do it for us.
And I love Cameron Diaz. Oh, my voice cracked.
That's how much she loves her.
I know. No, I just this is a
No, I
normal amount of love. It's not like Melissa Gilbert, But no, but it's a nice one. It's a nice one. It's not about, and I do appreciate the tart. That's new. I do like that. I just don't know if I would
Right.
go out and spend that much money
Yeah.
because it's
Right.
not hitting me. That.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. There's
Yeah,
other
right.
wines that are under $10 or under $15
Right.
that taste as good.
Right. And they
So.
just, it's relatively new, so maybe it will start going down in price. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Do you have
Avaline
It's a pretty
is yes, yeah.
And then it smells beautiful.
It's funny because when I went to the store and I said, "Do you have Avaline?" He goes to the and he goes, "Oh, Avaline."
Oh, is
And-
that what it
okay.
is?
But no,
Avaline?
it's not Avaline. If you see, it spells out on the front how to pronounce it, and it's
Oh.
Avaline.
Oh, well, you need to
should
go
go back and tell them. Avaline.
But
So all these things on here that it said it's free of, aren't most wines free of all that? They don't
No.
put sugar in. Sugars in wines and
I did also do a little research, and they said that saying something's organic, it's a little of a bit of a BS thing, but I'm not sure how true that is.
Not
so.
the Banter.
Yeah, but Banter, she likes her
I
organic.
know Montana.
She loves Banter.
I just bought some more of that today.
Did you?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's, But
Okay.
anyway, so it's Avaline, and we're not.
Pretty Maybelline. Every time you say Avaline, it's, oh, Maybelline.
We're not hating it, but
No, it's good. It's a nice wine.
It's a nice.
Yeah.
It is a nice one. It's nice for summer. I think it's a nice
yeah,
summer.
well, I like
red.
more full body, and I like
Yes.
drier.
She likes it.
Oh, I think this is
body.
dry.
I like drier.
I think this is very dry.
I like drier.
You don't want your cheeks puckering up
I
when you're
don't mind
drinking
if
wine. I like dry
Don't
wine
tell me
too.
what I want.
I will.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what I want. I want to know what book we're going to discuss.
Tell me what you want. What
I
you
really want.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. This was not the book that I was going to pick.
Am I turning this
No,
over?
no,
She's
don't
giving
turn-
me a.
No, I'm
sock.
looking to
No,
see
we're
how much
good.
longer.
We're
Yeah,
good.
we're
Don't
good.
She's
interrupt
reduced
me.
me to
This
one
is
job,
not-
and she's
this is not
micromanaging
going-
me.
It's not going to be long.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Okay,
just don't want-
so I am currently reading Hell of a Book by Jason Mott, and it's really good.
And that's the
It's
title.
a hell
Yes,
of a book.
that's the name of it. The
Okay.
name of it
Nice.
is Hell of a Book.
Nice.
And I will talk about that in a couple of weeks because I didn't finish it, and I want to finish it before I speak about it. So this morning when I was reading the Times, I saw that they're making a movie out of the book. It's a young adult book called Catherine Called Birdy. And
Oh, yeah.
this book is, I read it in like 1992.
I love how
It's
How old it is?
Yeah, I love
when
it.
I bought it, it was $4.50. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
And it's all yellowed. And I said, oh my God, they're making a movie out of one of my favorite young adult books.
Oh, nice.
And who's the author?
The author is Karen Cushman.
Okay.
And I think she also did The Midwife's Apprentice too. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yes, that was her.
Okay.
So I said, oh my God, I bet I still have that book on my bookshelf. I know that I wouldn't have given it away. And sure enough, it was there. So I'm going to talk about Called Birdy. I don't know when the movie is coming out. I watched the trailer and it looks like it's a lot of
I'll
fun.
have to check that out.
It's going to be in the movie
Nice.
theaters.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but I'm
Well, gotta
definitely
go.
going to see it.
We're gonna
We'll go with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Called Birdy is about a young 14-year-old girl in the year 1290.
Oh, very nice.
And she lives
I
in a
love that.
castle with her mother and her father, and her father is a lord, but he doesn't have money. So he's trying to marry her off.
Ooh.
And she is like this spunky, independent girl, and she does all these antics to try to get these guys to say, I'm not marrying her, because most of them are old and, hairy and rich, and she really doesn't want any part of it. And she likes to hang out with the peasants. So like she sneaks out and she goes and watches the birthing
Ooh,
of
I
the
love
lambs,
her.
and it's really, really so good. So I'm just going to read this little thing here. Because she writes it as a diary. It all takes place in one
I'm
year.
gonna give that to Willow and
Yeah,
Daphne.
That's
yeah, they
cool,
would love
that's
it. I know
cool.
Riley would like it too,
Yeah.
but if I suggest something to Riley, then she'll automatically not like it. Yeah, that's
typical.
You got it.
Well,
You got
it's
the
teenage.
playbook.
Yeah, I know, I got. So now I'll just read this. This is just like on the introduction page. And it says, Dear Diary, 24th day of September. This. Holy mackerel! I didn't even realize that. How serious
Aren't you as excited as
Wow!
We're such nerds.
I didn't even realize that.
No.
The stars in my family align to make my life black and miserable. My mother seeks to make me a fine lady, dumb, docile, and accomplished, so I must take lady lessons and keep my mouth closed. My father, the toad, conspires to sell me like cheese to some lack-wit seeking a wife. What makes this clodpole suitor anxious to have me? I am no beauty, being sun-browned and gray-eyed, with poor eyesight and a stubborn disposition. Corpus bones. He comes to dine with us in 2 days' time. I plan to cross my eyes and drool in my meat. So that's pretty much what this book is, and I really highly recommend it. I can't wait to see the movie. The trailer, you can see the trailer on YouTube.
It's called Catherine.
Called Birdy.
All right, you should bring Riley, and I'll bring my girls
I
when we
will.
go to see
I
it.
will.
And I'll go anyway by
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be
So
awesome.
anyway, that is my pick
Love it.
for this podcast.
You know,
I got it.
Kate, you always have the best young adult
I love young
recommendations.
adult
She's
books.
always said that. She's always says, if I want
She
to
does.
write young adult,
Yeah, I
young
know.
adult is the way to go.
Yeah.
And
I always
You
say
have
that
the
to
best-
Carol. I always
yeah.
say, you need to write a young adult book.
But that's just whatever.
I know.
Anyway.
you recommended a really good one to young adult book, which was I didn't realize it was a young adult. It was We Are Liars, or We Were
Oh,
Liars.
We Were Liars. There's another book called Family of Liars. It's a prequel.
Oh.
Jessica has it. I haven't read it
See,
yet.
I got
Yeah.
because I read that, and it surprised me completely, and then I passed it along to my friend Grace, who I have to check out see if she's read it, but it's such a good book.
It's a very good story, and it's got a nice twist to it.
Yeah.
I love twists.
I really,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So I want to read Family of Liars, which
Okay.
came out recently,
Okay.
but it's
Awesome.
a prequel to We Were
That's
Liars.
awesome.
So
Well, I think we're going to have to move on to the topic.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
will be Judy. Judy's going to do the topic, but we're going to just pause for a minute. And
That's
then
right. So that the camera doesn't run out of time.
Exactly. I just get
Right.
freaked out at this. Let's let it
So I
run
just
through.
let it run?
Yeah,
okay.
let it run
All right. We'll be
Okay,
back.
We'll be
Okay.
back. Sounds good. Okay.
All right.
Flip
Carol, look.
it. Oh, you're flipping it. Awesome. Hi, we're back. We're back.
Okay, I have a comment to make about the wine, okay?
Okay.
So for the people who gave the half-hearted review of the wine, look how much is left. That much. It's a good wine.
I'm still on my
So
first
sorry,
glass.
Colin. Yeah.
Oh,
you're full of baloney.
No,
That's not true at
She's
all.
a liar.
She is a liar.
But
So-
before I forget,
we had Lisa, who's one of our biggest fans.
We love
Thank
you, Lisa.
She did comment on some of our past topics, and one of them that when we talked about our bucket list.
That's a popular one, our bucket list one.
Yes, yeah. And here's what some of Lisa's bucket list. Think about this one. Owning a golf cart for fun.
Oh, I like that.
You know what? Every time I see somebody in a golf cart, I always want to have one too and
Yes.
drive around.
See, Lisa?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm with you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Buy one.
Yeah, and this one I like. Cruise on the ocean to watch for whales, because I
Okay.
love to see.
Alrighty.
Go
I've
to
done that.
Go to Iceland in a special hotel that looks like igloos to watch
Oh,
the
I
I've
know
heard it.
exactly
Yeah,
what you're talking
uh-huh.
about. I have it saved, yes.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I have it saved.
That's pretty awesome. Now, these are Lisa's pet peeves. Okay?
Uh-oh.
This is, I can just hear Lisa with this one. Those people, drivers who make up their own rules on the road, such as making the shoulder their own personal
Oh
lane.
God, I hate that too. I
You
always
know?
want to move over and block them so they can't get past. That's what the tractor trailer drivers used to do. My
Yes,
husband
yes.
was a tractor trailer driver. He said, yeah, we used to just all pull over and get them stuck there.
Well, she feels no one is more important than anyone else following the rules of the road.
Mhm.
And then she said, great topic. So thank you, Lisa, for
Oh,
weighing
thanks,
in.
Hi,
Lisa.
Lisa.
So we want
You're
you-
awesome.
Yeah, people, please weigh in on this. So let's see if you're going to weigh on today's topic that Judy is going to lead us into.
Okay, put the glasses go on. It's my topic. All right, I'm talking about the difference, if there is any, in your opinion, we'll talk about that, between joy and enjoyment. And I stumbled upon this topic because I did see a story featured on CBS, the Sunday morning program. They run it again during the week time too, regarding a rescue. It's a donkey rescue
Oh,
called Oscar's Place. Now, for those of you who know me, know that I love donkeys. My husband is hanging by a string because he knows that the minute
He's very fearful.
we get a little bit more property, I'm getting a pair of donkeys
Oh.
before I even get furniture. That's pretty much what's going to happen. I just think donkeys are amazing.
Is
And
that your favorite character in Shrek?
I don't care for Shrek.
I love
But
Shrek.
you know what?
I like
Fair enough. But it probably would be. I love donkeys, and so this was about Oscar's Place, and it was an interview with a man named Ron King. And Ron King used to be a media executive in New York City. And he was at the height, of his career, fashion, where he was being flown to Milan to sit front row at the fashion, runway shows. He was so apparently very successful in this business. And then, things happened where he was working, there were layoffs, a bunch of people were let go or laid off. He was one of them. And he kind of found himself stuck. Right? You're like, now you're not able
What's
to do
next? Yeah.
what you can do. And he took refuge at a friend of his friend in California, in Hopland, California, had a large acreage that was vacant and a house, a beautiful house. I'm sure it is. I didn't see the house, but it looks nice from the outside, with lots of acreage. And he was trying to sell it. So he says, look, do me a favor. You need a place to stay. I'm not there. Will you stay at my place and show it? While I'm gone, and this way you can get your stuff together. And he agreed, and he went out there, and as he was walking the grounds, he goes, for the first time, things felt still. Like he could just sort of think. And it was around that time that he had seen, also on the news, he had heard the plight about donkeys. Now, donkeys used to be one of the most useful animals in America. We used them, to build this country, railroads, milk machines, milkmen, it was, donkeys were working animals, they were pack animals, and they were so prevalent. They don't really have a use now in our society, and there's such a surplus, unfortunately, of these beautiful, intelligent, that's what they are, so intelligent animals, and they're very kind. And they are being sold by the thousands at slaughter. Oh. They are being abused. They are being, neglected, and they are sold at these markets just really for slaughter. And they're sold babies as well, babies. Oh. And he saw this and said, oh God, and he wasn't particularly an animal person.
Can they
before
sell it in the States, in our country? 'Cause
Yes.
I know they can't do that to horses
Yes.
anymore, but they, okay.
And
Wow.
he had this kind of epiphany. He approached his friend. I gives me picturing like me going to one of you guys and said, "Hey,
Can I do a donkey rescue, please?"
Absolutely, that's what he did. And he says,
Wow.
take it off the market and let me see if I can turn this into a donkey sanctuary.
Wow.
And he must have had such a good friend, like I know you two would be, and be like, all right, I'll let you try this, you know? And he
That's
did.
great if you don't need the money.
Well, that's right, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's grants and tax write-offs and all of this stuff
Sure.
that you could really kind of do
Yeah.
for this. And it has turned to be so wonderful. He has got so many donkeys, and he adopts them out too, and they're very careful because I've already checked out the process in case I'm getting ready, you know, and they're very particular where they go. You have to always adopt donkeys in pairs, or if you have a single, they can't be singular animals, but too many of them are.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so in this interview, he says, doing this has been, I can't believe in a way how it has changed his life. And he says,
Yeah.
and I finally understand the difference between things I enjoy and
Oh.
things that bring me joy.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And I got goosebumps when I heard him say that.
Okay. All right.
And that made me start thinking about what are things that I enjoy and what are things that bring me joy. For example, okay, I really enjoy a glass of wine, but wine doesn't really bring me joy.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's one thing. I also last time I had flowers. I don't have them this time because it's past season, but I grow zinnias. I grow a very rare kind of a zinnia from seed, and I harvest these zinnias. They're called candy cane zinnias. They're very hard to find, and I grow them and I harvest their seeds. I dry the flowers. I love these zinnias, and when they pop up every year, I am like a little kid, tickled pink. I think these are the prettiest flowers in the whole world. I could buy a bunch of zinnias in a store or from a florist and say, these are pretty. They bring.
Right.
I enjoy looking at them. But my zinnias bring me joy.
Right.
The act of me doing this and knowing that I created this, and I love that. And so it made me start to think that, you know, what's the difference? I have asked people privately, and the reaction I get a lot of the time is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it is for some people if you really understand. So I wanted to know, first of all, you ladies, and we'll start with you, Carol.
Oh, gee.
What is it the same for you, or are they different? And tell us what brings you joy and what do you enjoy?
I enjoy writing, and I find joy in having written.
I thought the same thing about you today. I
Get
said
out of
Carol
town.
is going to say that.
I
That
didn't even know I was
is,
going to say.
that's what brings you joy, especially like when you finish something. I can't
The finished
imagine
product.
the joy that you must
believe you
be.
thought of that.
I did think of it because
that was
I've been thinking about it a lot. Because sometimes it is the same thing for me.
Okay.
All right, so I enjoy taking a walk on a beautiful day down on the beach. I have a beautiful beach right by my house in a beautiful park. I enjoy it. Some days when all the conditions are ripe and like there's beautiful birds and the weather is perfect and the sun is reflecting off the water, I feel joy for the fact that I am so fortunate that I live in a place like this where for a simple walk I could go and feel like I'm part of something bigger, like be part of nature and see all this beauty, and it's a couple of minutes from my house.
Which is really funny that you said that, because immediately I thought of my mom, because when my mom knew that I was living on Long Island, her mind was that it was all cement, no trees. It was like Manhattan to her. That's what it looked like. And so when she did come down to visit, the rare times that she did come down to visit, and I took her out east, all she kept saying was, oh my goodness, I had no idea. There's just fields. I had no idea. So the fact that if she were to be with, because you liked my mom, like
Yeah,
the two
I
of
loved
you,
your mom.
the
Yeah.
two of you could have walked down and she would have been like, I would have no idea that this is that close to be
Yeah.
on Long Island to have that. So,
Yeah, I was thinking of other things too that I enjoy. Like I enjoy playing board games.
Yes. Me
Yeah.
too.
And that's an enjoyment.
yes.
But when I do it, like with my family, that brings me joy.
Mhm.
So a lot of times my enjoyments, depending on who I'm doing it with, can bring me joy.
Yeah.
Like having these discussions with you guys, it's very enjoyable.
Yes.
But it also brings me joy.
Yes.
And I know it does for you guys too.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
how excited you
Oh,
get on our
gosh.
podcast days.
I do.
Texting
And,
this
um,
morning at 8 or 9 in the morning.
Wildflowers, it's podcast day.
Yeah.
My dogs even get excited because I see that I always set up.
Uh-huh.
I have to empty the wine, but glasses out of my wine bar so we don't kick them.
Now here,
And I'm like, I get ready because
you
I'm.
do.
Yeah.
She's very excited.
I am.
But one thing I was thinking about, and I have a couple of questions here, but one of them is the things that bring you joy, are they the same that things that brought you joy when you were a child?
Yeah, because I know. No.
Well, the thing that I think of naturally, probably all of us, when you're a child, is Christmas morning and Christmas Eve, and that feeling of anticipation and joy. I remember that so well, and we decorated our Christmas tree. We got our Christmas tree a couple of days before Christmas, but we didn't put it up until Christmas
Okay.
Eve.
Oh.
And decorating the tree and singing Christmas carols and people dropping by, and that that joy that you feel on Christmas morning. There's a family picture of us that my dad took when we were little kids, running down the stairs, we had lived in an old brownstone with the sliding doors, the pocket doors,
Oh.
running through, and like you could see on our faces.
Oh.
And I said, oh my God, that feeling, it isn't the same Christmas when you're an adult,
No.
but
it's not.
Christmas still brings me a lot of joy.
It does. Well, for me, I know it's still the same, I think, because as a child, what I really always honed on, and it still is animals.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
anybody who knew me as a kid or
Yeah.
a young adult or teenager, I'll
Right.
gravitate towards any
Yeah.
animal more than
Yeah.
anything, and they bring me joy. Just watching, I could watch them, I could interact with them, and that has been such an important part of my life, as you know.
I watched a documentary last night with Jane Goodall. Well, I didn't watch it with her. I would have loved to have
Was
watched
this
it
on
with her.
Gutsy or a different?
No,
Okay.
this was Hulu, I think, but it's just a documentary
Alright.
about, how I thought she had gone to college and had all this education, but she didn't, and that's what Lee Key wanted, is someone that didn't have those preconceived notions.
Oh, okay.
It was so
Yeah.
interesting, but seeing her getting frustrated because trying to get closer to the chimpanzees, it took months for that for her. And yet, as I'm watching it, I knew that this was going to be our topic today, and I'm watching her and I'm like, oh my God, the joy she must have felt, that first connection that, when they touched her nose, like they were trying to figure her out. And like you, I've always loved animals. Like I have pictures of me. I'm like 4 years old. I'm sitting in a little chair. Must have had chocolate because my face was or dirt, who knows. But I'm holding this little puppy, and my siblings were around me.
I think
And
I've seen that.
You probably
Photos.
have,
I have
seen
seen
that.
that.
Yeah, you probably have seen that picture. And it might even be in that little book I have over there. But I was just always so protective of animals, and
Yeah.
just like you, I loved animals. I just,
Well, there's a sense of accomplishment. I mean, even recently, my husband, my girls were in the living room, and our last chicken, we rescue. We don't, so I'll take whatever chicken somebody's throwing away or got away, whatever. And so, my most recent rescue was driven to my house by the NYC ACC. They have found this hen in New York City, and he drove it to my house, which was very nice man.
yeah.
And so it's always tricky to introduce chickens to the flock.
Yeah.
The term pecking order is a real thing. That's where it comes from, and it's the hardest part. So I've been trying to introduce this hen for months.
Oh, okay. So this
I
is the one.
remember you were telling
Yes,
us
and
about
I
it,
was
yeah.
like, this is just not going well, and we were going to go on vacation, and I was like, how am I going to if I can't get a flock, this is going to be such a hard thing. and then we had a success, a breakthrough. She was integrated, and they didn't attack her, and you would have thought I won the lottery. I came running in this house, and I was like, yes! You know? And they all look at me like, okay. But that was joy. It was like, I did this. I figured it out. I didn't, you know, I didn't give up. And it may seem stupid to you or whoever, but it was really, that's what brings me joy.
That brings clarity for me, the difference between enjoyment and joy. And I guess it's similar to what I was saying about my writing. But you were enjoying caring for your chickens, but the joy you felt when you accomplished that, getting that chicken to not get pecked at, which is like, but like, so
it's really brutal.
I know.
When I was in Ocean City this past summer, and you know, we took a lot of photos, and one of the photos was of me and Maureen, and we were laughing so hard like that. We were like this, and Samantha commented on the photo, and
Samantha's her daughter.
Pure joy, and you can see it that it was, you know, it's
Okay, well, here's a question I had too. I thought about this. Do you think society gears us, our society, more towards enjoyment rather than the fulfillment of enjoyment rather than the fulfillment of joy?
Probably. Yeah. You know, even with all the streaming things, like I do enjoy watching different shows on TV, but they don't make me joyful. You know, and I think, and what else? What other examples would that be?
Yeah, that's very true, because I feel like
new car, you need to have a new car, the new phone. You need to have newer things.
I think enjoyment is that instant gratification.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas joy, you don't need that instant gratification. It's just
joy could be very spiritual.
Yes.
And it could also be like religious.
Right, but joy is not as marketable as enjoyment.
Yeah.
And so I think when going back almost full circle to this Ron King, this interview that I saw, is how he got lost in this society of enjoyment. You know, being flown first class, being sitting front row, being, you know, hobnobbing with the celebrities and, you know, drinking the best wines and wearing the best clothes.
Right.
And he, at the end of the day, when all he had was himself, he wasn't happy with who he was.
Yep.
Well, I got my new car. It was the first new car I ever had in my life. I was 69. I was 70 years old. No, 69 years old when I got it. And it brings me great enjoyment to this day. I love driving it, but it doesn't bring me joy.
Right.
You know, it doesn't make me joyous. Oh my God, I'm in my car.
Do you ever go out and just look at your car? And
no, I do not. You know. I don't. I actually hate washing it, and I have to force myself to go and do that.
So that's something you don't enjoy.
No, that does not bring me joy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other night, and I was channel surfing, and I happened to stop at The Voice, and this father was talking about his daughter performing, and he goes, I get such enjoyment watching her perform. He goes, and when she sings, the joy it makes me feel. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Judy's topic. I've got to remember that he used that description.
You know, because I think what it is that things can't bring you joy, but people can. Other people in your life
that's a good point.
Can bring you joy.
That might be the
But
difference.
you know, like the material thing doesn't in itself bring you joy, but doing that thing with people that you care about.
My characters in my
But so many people equate think they're the same thing. And because of the messaging of our society. So many people think the material is going to make us happy. And if we just have the better car, the bigger house, the perfect setting, the right clothes, the right job, we're going to be happier. We'll finally have joy. And
Yeah, no, it
not
doesn't
that
always
good.
match.
And I know that because the people I've talked to, some of them, like I said, thought it was the same thing.
Yeah, no. Well, it's funny.
Okay. No, go ahead.
No, yeah.
No,
Okay. Well,
You sound like the Muppets.
when you mentioned something about clothes or whatever, because I do enjoy shopping for clothes. I
She really does. Yeah.
I enjoy
I've had this blouse for about 10 years.
and that's the thing, I have to learn to give up a lot of my things. But there are times in the past when I bought something that I would go look at it in my closet and it gave me joy. I will admit that. I can't remember now. I can't remember now.
Well, there are certain clothes, like I still have the first shirt I wore on a date with my husband. I'm probably not going to wear
Well,
it
that
again.
has sense. That
It
once
gives
again
me
is
joy
connected
that
with
I have
person.
that. Right.
It's
So
connected
like,
with
I'll-
happy
gives me
memory
joy. Right.
and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But in itself, like you
It's a
know, like
shirt.
I bought that new decanter and it's beautiful. I look at it. It doesn't bring me joy.
Right.
You know, and now I have to
It
use
does or
it.
doesn't?
No, it does not bring me joy.
Yeah, she's like, I have to use
Yeah.
it. We'll enjoy it together.
Yeah.
But that's just, I thought that was a good topic to kind of just touch base in. And is there, the last question I kind of had, and I don't know if anything, but maybe not for you, but I'll ask it. Is there anything that's stopping you from having joy, do you think?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh no, I have lots of joy.
Oh, she says,
Like,
really?
yeah.
Okay,
Oh
let's,
yeah,
and
but
what
I won't.
is it?
No, I won't go into it now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But there are things that could stop me from having joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay,
But
I have joy.
I have joy too.
I really do have joy.
I'm sorry for you.
I've never met her. Where is she?
I had a friend
It
named
reminds me
Joy.
of a poem that I think it was going from cheer to joy. They talk about the brand names cheer. You know, cheer like the
The
Yeah.
detergent.
Joy. You know,
Joy was another one. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Brandle.
I can tell you real-
I think is
I can tell you, because I had a different thing in my mind when I said yes, something's keeping me from joy. Seeing my book published would give me joy, but that's not happening yet, so that's frustrating to me. So holding a book that you've had published, so my next novel, I would like to see that published, and I haven't had that joy yet to see that.
But you have joy about other things.
Like you had Without Grace published.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
a wonderful book,
Yeah.
and
Thank
a lot
you.
of people
Of
who've
Little
read it love
Faith.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
Little
You know, I
Faith
mean,
as
it's
well.
more than a lot of people have accomplished,
It's-
Carol.
absolutely.
Really.
I'm getting yelled at.
You are. She's being reprimanded.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I looked up the dictionary.
You're our wordle girl.
Yeah.
I am.
Go ahead.
So I looked up enjoy. It's pretty simple definition.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word. Too
I
much
know you-
wine.
She was
It's like,
no.
Carol, rescue
Oh.
me.
Exactly. I was like, it's not too much. Okay, go ahead.
Joy is happiness. Enjoyment is being entertained.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Webster's Dictionary.
And then this one said enjoyment is amusement, the act of receiving pleasure from something. Joy, to gladden or exhilarate, feeling great pleasure and happiness. And then there was also a Bible quote about
Yeah.
joy in the Lord, like is your strength. Joy in the Lord is your strength. It was NEH, they abbreviated it.
New England, New International something.
No, it wasn't the Bible, it was actually a scripture. NEH?
Well, it would be from the Bible.
Right.
NIH.
Maybe, yeah, I know, but I
Whatever.
thought it was like, because it gave a
I'll
verse
like
and
up
stuff.
against the song that we used to sing to our vacation Bible school. I've got joy down in the bottom of my heart, or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
even know. I don't remember that.
Joy to
To
the
the
world.
Well, yeah.
That's
But you know what? We're
Yeah.
almost out of time.
Oh, look at that. I didn't think
Oh,
this would
alright.
go on for
This
that
is
long.
a good topic.
It is. So
Yeah.
why don't you weigh in and tell us
Yeah.
what you enjoy? Sorry if I stepped in.
No, it's your
Or
deep-
what brings you joy? Is it the same thing? Is it different? We'd like to know. And
inquiring
Yeah.
minds want
Yeah.
to know.
And we want to know if you enjoy the Wildflowers, who have
Yes.
books, booze, and banter.
That's right. And if there's any particular topic you might want us to talk about in the future, lay it on us. We'd like to know. We're
My
open
sister
to all.
Maureen likes the subtitle. She said, "Don't say booze."
I
She
know.
likes
Oh.
books, wine, and banter.
I did say
and that
wine,
was the
Maureen.
original.
I did say wine initially.
So we
Well,
could always change
Right,
it.
right.
But booze is okay. We're kind of loose.
Yeah,
with
it's
it.
an alliteration, but booze is
Yeah,
different
Booze
than
is
wine.
banter.
Well, Natasha did say that someone for one of our podcasts that she could make a mixed drink for us to
You know what? I actually
Oh.
thought of one day because I love gin gimlets, and I said
Oh.
maybe I'll do a gin gimlet.
Oh.
That's
But
gonna
I'll
be
get
I've
snockered.
I've never had gin gimlet.
Oh my God, they're delicious.
But if we do the Wildflowers books, booze, and banter, it's very Sesame Street, brought to you by the letter B.
Exactly.
That's right.
So
It
anyway,
is.
thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. That was good. That was fun. I really did not.
I want to know what you wouldn't want to say.
Are we still on?
Uh-oh, I better shut off the camera.
I don't